viewers, welcome to another wonderful episode of BurnettLife. I hope you all are doing well. Today is a new day. I simply just came out here just to have a conversation. I wanted to lay in my bed this morning and record, but Craig is still asleep. I guess he came home late last night. I fell asleep, but it's a brand new day. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I making this video? Because I made one, and I think I was still in my emotions. It's not funny. No, it's not funny. I don't think it's funny at all. But there are two shorts, three, out there about what my children and I experienced. We experienced some racism, and this was like aggressive racism. You know, you get the subtle racism here and there, you know. But what we experienced 2 days ago was actively aggressive racism. I don't even know if aggressive is the right word, but yeah, I will have to say aggressive racism. You know, the children and I went to our tennis court to play pickleball in my black minivan with my 3 children, and I was approached by a neighbor who doesn't live on my street, but I am familiar with her face, her facial features. And as the kids and I were playing pickleball, she came up to us and she asked if we were, if we were members of, if we were members. And I turned, because I was on my phone, focused on my phone, and I turned and I said, "I'm sorry." And she goes, "Are you members?" And I said, "Yes." And I went back. I don't want to get interrupted. I don't. Honey, what is it? I am recording. I'm talking to the viewers. I don't want to get interrupted. I just want to think and say what I have to say, okay? Did you shower? Go shower, Kristen, please, so we can get the day started with class. Wait, so you're just going to go in the car and drive? No, just go shower, please. I'm doing my business. Go do your business, please. All right. Where was I? I went back on my phone. She asked a question. I answered her, and I went back on my phone. And I'm just sitting in the chair because I was about to record the kids, like a closer view of me recording the kids as they were serving. And she goes, "What are your names?" That's what I mean when I said aggressive. If you come and you say, "Hi, how are you? I'm the neighbor. Do you guys live around here?" There is a difference between, "Are you members?" That is aggressive. What are your names? That is also aggressive. And I ignored her because I just knew it in my spirit it was going to be something. I just knew it. As soon as she said, "Are your members?" I could feel it and I knew it. This was it. So I ignored her and she goes, "You're not members." And I turned and I said, "We are members." And I chuckled and I looked at my kids and I made the remark. I said, "This is it, y'all." And I was sitting down. I'm trying to remember everything word for word, event by event. I was sitting down and I remember she and her dog walked down to the gate and she did something. I don't know what she did, but in my mommy brain, I'm thinking she locked the door on me and my children. So I asked her, and this was when I started recording, and I said, "Did you just lock the door?" And she goes, "Well, if you're members, you have the key to get out." On the tennis court door, there isn't like a keyhole. When you're on the inside, there isn't a keyhole to exit. So you can't put your key in to exit. You can't do that. It's just a handle. So she proceeds to walk up. So I asked my son if he can go check to see if the door was locked. He was already going. His teenage, going to be soon man, instant brain says, "Let me go check." Protective, being a protector. Brain says, "Let me go check on, make sure my family is safe. Let me check the door." He goes and he checks the door. It's open. I said, "Christopher, just shut it." So he shuts the door and she's standing watching us. And as I'm walking, trying to pace and calm myself, I see her just standing there, and that's when I just flipped. and I went ahead and I told her what I told her. I told her, you don't tell me what to do. And I repeatedly said that. After that, I was, who is that? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm trying to talk to the viewers, okay? I don't want to forget anything. I'm trying to like think. I just want my brain to work right now. Thank you. I will be downstairs in a bit. Yeah, so I snapped and I just, said what I said. Everything I said is on camera. I did miss a few parts because I was using the YouTube app. I should just use I'm learning how to just use my phone to record, instead of me just rushing straight over to the YouTube app to record. But as I was trying to get the second portion of the nonsense that she was telling me, she said, honesty is a thing. That is also aggressive towards someone. Honesty is a thing. And I was like, yes, I am being honest. Yes, I am being honest. And she is now telling me that I am a liar. That is aggressive. That is aggressive racism. I am not a racist. I grew up in a predominantly white community, okay? In the suburbs in Maryland. I went to a predominantly school. Yes, high school, middle school, elementary school. I went to a predominantly white church. So I am not racist. I have had white friends. So I am not racist. I have had a white aunt. May her soul rest in peace. So I don't even know what to say this morning. I'm just, when I say it was my first time going through aggressive racism, that was aggressive racism. I have experienced racism in my past, and I will explain to you all how. So, because I went to a predominantly white schools, church, and I live in a predominantly white community, I did not see racism, you understand? Or maybe I was not aware of it. It was my environment, and I just thought, we're all living, we're all people just doing our best, growing up with my friends, yeah, just living an everyday life. When I got married, my husband was the one who started to point out certain things to me. And I used to call my husband racist. You know, I was like, no, baby, you're racist. Now, let me just make this out there. My husband is not a racist. My husband has white friends, okay, till this day, and they are absolutely close. Husband his grandfather was white, straight, pure white man. His grandmother was Chinese, okay? So he does not have a racist bone in his body. But when we got married, he started to point out certain things to me that I was not aware of. And I used to call him racist. I was like, babe, you're being so racist. Are you a racist? Just joke with him because he was always pointing out certain things to me. And as I got older, I started to realize these racist events that took place. Now, I did experience some racism, and there are some that are very painful and hurtful that I'm going to share with you all. Father God, please help me to remember all of them, okay? For instance, number one, a few years ago during COVID, when we had our dogs, I remember we had, what was the dog name that we had? Oh my gosh. Roots. Um, what's the dog name? Rootsy. I forgot the dog's name. Naruto. When we had Naruto became sick one day. It was Naruto or Faith, one of them, and I took them to the vet. And Kristen came with me. It was Faith. Faith went for her checkup. They weren't sick. Faith went for her checkup because this happened with Kristen. And Kristen, wants to be a veterinarian when she gets older. That is the career path that, God has placed upon her. And Kristen and I went to the vet, and somehow I don't know how we got on the topic, how we got on the subject, and the owner of the veterinarian facility said Kristen could come in and tour the facility and see what some of the veterinarians do. I said, "Are you sure?" She said, "Yes, of course, I'm sure." I said, "Oh, great." And I mentioned to her, I said, "Even with COVID going on, that will still be okay?" She said, "Yes, of course, it's no problem." I said, "All right, great." So we were supposed to go back the next day to get Faith checked up. Something happened to her eye. I think Naruto had scratched her eye, and I took her to the vet to get it checked out. And we went back the next day or the next 2 days. And when we're supposed to go back, Kristen was supposed to tour the facility. We get there. I didn't say anything because I don't like imposing on people. If someone tells me something, I leave that responsibility onto them and let them, initiate the situation. So when we got there, I didn't say anything. Faith, she was seen and whatnot, and I figured the lady was gonna come and say, "Hey, Kristen can come on ahead and walk in." I spoke to the veterinarian, and she said, "Oh, okay, so let me go and get the owner and see what she says." I just, because no one has said anything to me, so I just wanted to just clarify and just make sure, because I did my baby's hair. She was excited. My baby was so excited, y'all. And the owner comes out and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, she can't do it. She can't come in because of COVID." I said, uh, "That's highly disappointing because I made sure I asked you yesterday, or 2 days ago, if it was okay, especially with COVID going on, because we were in mid-lockdown COVID." And I asked her if it was okay, and she specifically told me yes, everything was okay. And she just came back and she said no. And she was like, "Oh, I just gave her some stickers or something." It was just like, a passive way of not even acknowledging my child's feelings, nothing of the kind. It was just like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. Let's just keep it pushing." When I tell you my child was heartbroken, I looked my baby in her face. I said, "You are going to have the best veterinarian office facility ever." I said, "Don't you cry, Kristen." I said, "Let this be a lesson, okay?" There has been other instances that I have gone through with my children. It's just little stuff here and there. But it puts me in a conflict of, do I trust this group of people? Do I love this group of people? Or do I just withhold my emotions and my feelings to myself? Because I've been hurt one too many times. But 2 days ago really took the cake. And when I say if I should, it puts me in a conflict situation. Our neighbor, he has a Robert E. Lee statue on his front lawn. He has the Confederate flag. But we talk. We talk all the time. He is a full die-hard Trump supporter. His mom, I know his mom. We talk, he and Craig talk. And he said something to my son one time that really touched my heart. We were down by the mailbox and he had just picked up his kill. And he said, when you should go to college. He said, "Pay attention in school and graduate from college and make lots of money." And when he told my son that, that just made me to like have a love for him, that, and a respect for him that I didn't see from others when I have experienced racism. You understand? So it puts me in a conflict, a conflicted, emotional twirl, I should say. I can't really think of the word right now. But with all that being said, it's painful. You understand what I'm saying? It is extremely painful to be treated the way that we're treated just because of the color of our skin, the way how God made us. And it makes me to think, what is it about us that makes us so hated so much? You understand? Or looked down upon. What is it? I mean, come on, look at me. I am a 42-year-old mom with 3 children. My kids are not perfect, but I think we are a decent family. You understand what I'm saying? We're having fun, and the aggression that we got 2 days ago, it put me in a negative space. It hurts, y'all. It truly does. I don't even know where I was going with this conversation. I don't. It is a very tough conversation to have. There just needs to be honesty on all boards, you know? It is a sad situation. It is a hurtful situation, and I don't even know what else to say. I don't. I try to put on a brave face with my children, but this is something that's going to carry on from generation to generation to generation and so forth. I don't know if it will ever stop. I'm just happy that my children got to experience it, and what I experienced, that type of aggression, I just know how to handle it from now on, just moving forward in my life. I asked my son yesterday morning, I was like, so Christopher, how do you feel about this? He was like, to be honest, Mom, it is what it is. I said, so what would you do if something like that happened to you? And he just told me, I'll just be honest. I will answer, the first question. Just keep on pushing. She asked, am I a member? Yes. And just ignore her and just keep on going. Just keep on living my life. And I said, yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do, Christopher. We're just going to ignore it because it is ridiculous. Yesterday, it made me feel like it gave me a negative reaction, like a feeling of turmoil, a feeling of hatred and rage, and that is something that I do not like feeling in my life. So I am grateful to God that it really did happen, because especially the time that we're living in right now, that is a life skill that I would need to live by. Just ignore it and keep it pushing. As long as nobody put their hands on me, because you put your hands on me, that is it. I am whipping ass. That's it. And I'm not holding back. Plain and simple. If I feel threatened, I'm beating your fucking ass. Plain and simple. That's it. I do know how to fight. Don't just see me, I speak well and whatnot, or when people do certain things, or because I am loving, I'm kind, oh, I whip ass. I do. And if I have to defend myself, I double whip ass. My strength is even more powerful. But it's a sad situation. It really is sad. It's truly sad. I just see people for who they are. That's it. Like my husband once said, he said, he doesn't expect people to be a certain way. He just take them as they are. He just know how to deal with them. So with racist people, if you're gonna be racist, that is on you. That is totally on you. That's that negative energy and hatred that you would just have to relearn. Or if you don't want to relearn how to live life in this society, because we are all intertwined now. We are all just trying to live our best lives and just be happy on this planet. But if you want to be racist, that is on you. That's not on me, because I'm just going to see people for who they are. And that lady, I'm just going to ignore her. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to build any type of relationship with her. I really don't, because you showed me who you are one time and I will believe you. That's it. That is it. So it's just unfortunate. I'm just trying to heal, man. I'm just trying to stay away from negativity. That's it. I'm just trying to stay away from negativity. It's troublesome because, Christopher is a driver, y'all. Driver. My son's a driver, and I think about like police brutality. And I told my son, I said, Christopher, if you ever get pulled over, you do exactly what the police officers tell you what to do. You just make sure you are respectful, because that is authority. I teach my kids to be respectful towards authority. So I said, I don't give a damn if a cop spits in your face. You hold your head up. Still be respectful. That's what lawyers are for. And he said, yes, Mom. That's it. But it is extremely sad. And it's extremely sad Very sad. It is very sad. It's very hurtful. And I don't know when it will ever end. I just pray that there is change. There is positive change on this planet that God made. And I just want to enjoy it like everybody else wants to enjoy it. So that's my message. But yeah, it's sad. I mean, and that's just not the only um racist thing. Let me tell you what else. Hey, that's a bug. That's a beetle. A friend. She used to be a friend of mine, and this is why I say like I take people for who they are. You know, she was a white lady. Oh, I used to love her. She and her daughter came to visit. We had just moved here, and you know, she was about to leave, and she was like, can I have a tour? Give me a tour." So I was giving her a tour, or whatever, and we went in the basement. And she said, "Wow, how come my life isn't like this?" I said, I called her name. I said, "Your life can be however you want it to be, you know?" And she said, "Oh, how did y'all get this? How did y'all get this?" Okay, that was one red flag for me. Two, she was like, what, does Craig sell drugs or something? That was the best you could say about my husband. Does Craig sell drugs? And from that day, I never spoke to her again. And she didn't call me either because she already knew what was up. So it's just about how you treat people. That's it. It's all about how you treat people. Just treat people with respect. That's it. That lady came up there. She sure when she asked if she had her intuitions, you know, her curiosity asked, "Hey, are you members?" I answered her. I was like, "Yeah, we are." I don't see a problem asking, you know. But when you start to insinuate that I am not a member and call me a liar and tell me I do not belong here, then we have a problem, you know. That's being racist. But it is a new day, y'all. I just need to let this emotion pass me. I do know that me and my children and my husband, we're going to enjoy the pool. We are going to enjoy the tennis court, and it's not going to bring me down, but it is painful, you know what I'm saying? It hurts, but pain only lasts, and pain like that, it lasts for a moment, you know, because I know that I am a special being. This woman right here, very special. You know, God made me in a very unique way. So I'm happy for me. I'm happy that I am a beautiful caramel brown skinned girl, woman. I'm happy my husband, my children, we are all black, okay? I wouldn't say black, but we're all children of God. We're all African American, or however you want to call it. We love our skin color, basically. That's it. I'm not ashamed of who I am. I love who I am, you know? And y'all should start loving yourselves as well. So, y'all enjoy. I didn't mean to hold y'all this long. Enjoy the rest of your day. My girl, Kristen, you know, she is excited. She's cooking dinner for the family tomorrow. So she is happy, y'all. Today I'm supposed to go and get her chicken breast so she can cut it and season it up. We having some chicken bites for dinner tomorrow, y'all. And I hope Mocha isn't cooking. I hope Chef Mocha is. But yeah, viewers. For those who show us love, we love y'all right back just as much. God bless you all. No matter your skin color, okay? God bless you all. BurnettLife, we're out. Peace.